So we are finally nearing the end of the first Descendant Crossplay beta. By the time this video is released, it's only a couple of hours before Nexon closes their servers, and we have to wait for a couple of months before we're going to see the full release of the game. Now I'm planning to do an honest review with no bullshit next, and also things that I have learned from this Crossplay beta that you can use for the full release. That will be on the next video, but for now, I would like to give you my personal opinion on who are the best Descendants in the game that everyone should start aiming at first during the full release of the game. Take note that we still don't know how far the Descendant will be in the battlefield mission, or how long we can farm for their parts, but you can use this knowledge to somehow set your goal on what Descendants you should focus farming and maxing the builds first. This way, you won't waste any resources and allows you to progress smoothly in the game. The current Crossplay beta shows us what we can expect from the first Descendant in terms of loot farming. The endgame activities of this game are mind-blocking, resource defense and void intercept mission, but we still don't know if there are more endgame activities that the developers did not show us, and I hope that there's more missions aside from the missions available in the current beta. Because honestly, if these are the only activities in the game, then expect that there will only be 3 meta Descendants that players will try to farm first. At the start of the story you can choose from 3 Descendants: Viesa, Lepic and Ajax. At the first beta, I chose Lepic and his gameplay felt really smooth and satisfying, especially with a group and nuke setup in the field missions. Eventually, I have tried Ajax and somehow it helped me complete all the story missions in the first beta of the game. Ajax is more defensive, and if you just focus on the Descendants' defense, then just arm yourself with a high-damage gun, then you can breeze the missions in the field easily. During this crossplay beta, I have tried Viesa as my starter Descendant, and in my opinion, this is the best starter Descendant for me, as the character excels not only on field missions, but her defense reduction and slow is somehow useful in void intercept bosses until you get the best Descendants for this endgame activity. There are instances in the void intercept that Viesa can help slow void intercept bosses with her first ability so that your team can aim at the weak spot of the boss with ease. Also, she can be a good alternative to Bunny, as she also got speed boost paired with slow using her second ability. But honestly, Viesa is rarely used in the void intercept bosses, as there are better Descendants for the job, like I have said earlier. However, my playtime with Viesa got cut short after I got Bunny. I don't know about you, but Bunny is fun to play with, especially in progressing through the field story mission up to farming the resource defense and mind-blocking missions you unlocked on each field. Not to mention that she can be a good crowd clearer if you manage to have a good tingling reactor with electric skill enhancement, coupled with all the modules that can increase the damage of your abilities. There's also an augment that allows you to deal insane damage with her abilities, and all you need to do is run around while her third ability is active. Bunny is like a running nuker, perfect for those defense-type missions in special operations, and her speed is not just fun, but this allows you to speedrun any field missions easily given that you have a good weapon to pair it with this Descendant. Bunny is a great progression Descendant, and as well as farming crates in the fields for those materials needed to craft Descendants, she is also great in a specific void intercept boss named the Hangman. There's this crazy mechanic from the Hangman that you will need to grab a cube and place it on the altar to make the boss vulnerable, and the same mechanic will also avoid a squad wipe ability of the boss. But instead of returning the cube, you will need to grab it from the altar to stop the ability. I have tried a couple of things with that Hangman mechanic, but it seems like the only solution to it is either Ajax defense or Bunny's speed to return or grab the cube from the Hangman's altar. Also, in the beta, Bunny is one of the easiest Descendants to get in the game, which makes her more popular with players. But once you get to the point wherein you finish all the field missions and you have gathered all the materials you need from the special operations, the endgame in the crossplay beta starts, and that is the void intercept bosses. The Grave Walker and Executioner are easy bosses, but once you get into the Devourer fight, everything changes, and just going with your starter Descendant or sticking with Bunny won't be enough. In my opinion, the most meta Descendant during this crossplay beta is Glay. I'll be completely honest with you. I'm one of those guys who just always play in public matches, and the most annoying part of this is when players are using level 1 Descendants on these missions. Level 40 is the required level for your Descendant, and these kinds of players are just wasting everyone's time, as they usually end up getting down by the boss attacks over and over again. By my first try with the Devourer, I managed to finish it with Kyla, but during the Dead Bride battle, There's this one Glay that just completely burst and damaged the boss. She said that she just maxed out her skill duration ability for Glay, along with defense and health. He just pressed her first ability, then paired it with her third, and her assault rifle with almost 7 tick DPS just did all the trashing. You want to know how I beat the other hard bosses on the first try? Well, I got carried by a Glay. Pyromaniac and Obstructor are also a walk in the park for the Glay that carried me, and she is just bursting these bosses with ease. Also, at the Obstructor boss fight, you can drop a skill module for Glay that gives you infinite ammunition. This allows you to spam heavy damage weapons, such as snipers, shotguns, and even launchers, without the worry of zero ammunition. Right now, when it comes to DPS against Void Intercept bosses, Glay is an absolute monster, and I think that she is the best Descendant right now in the Crossplay beta. Another great Descendant when it comes to the endgame activities in the first Descendant is Sharon, with her battlesuit melting nuts for her third ability that debuffs a boss or any enemies with minus 50% defense. This will pair well with the Battlesuit Crusher module, which you can use for a beam rifle, and by pair this debuffing with Glay, and you will see enemy health melt in seconds. The only problem with Sharon's defense reduction ability is it's not that useful against the Hangman boss fight, as the ability can't reach the boss. Other than that, it's pretty handy against all enemies and bosses in the game. I also used Kyle, Blair, and Jaber, but I did not find them that fun at all for this crossplay beta. Kyle is very tanky, and he is fun to use in high-level special operations, and his ability is more of a solo tank. Blair is about burning enemies, while Jaber is healing support. Now, I did not get to max them out since I'm missing skill modules for these Descendants. The crossplay beta is short honestly, but you can't try all of the Descendants in their full power. In fact, I haven't got the chance to try out Freyna and her toxicity. I also got to try Valby, but only in a resource defense. This Descendant is more of a caster class, since she can spam her abilities, and she got something that can increase her MP regeneration while she is stepping on her water abilities. But then again, I wasn't enjoying these Descendants because in the crossplay beta, the developer gave us credits, which we can rush the crafting of our favorite Descendants. I crafted those Descendants that can get the job done in both field missions and Void Intercept, and the most fun I have is with Sharon, Bunny, and Glay. These are the best Descendants I have played during the beta, and I can't wait to fully min-max their potentials in the full release of the game. But like I have said earlier, we don't know if these Descendants can be unlocked early in the game, because if you take a look at Glay right now, her components are linked to Dead Bride and the Obstructor, which are hard Void Intercept bosses. During launch day, there's no way you can play Glay at the very early stages of your progression, unless Nexon will fuck up the monetization of this game on day one and allow us to buy the components to make Glay with credits just like what we have in the crossplay beta. If they will do this kind of pay to win bullshit, then this is a red flag for players, and probably the game will sink before it even begins to prosper. I'm just hoping that the monetization of the game will be only for skins or cosmetics, and nothing that will let us progress instantly by buying stuff that affects gameplay with real money. The game is really fun to me because of the Void Intercept bosses. These bosses either will require you to be with a good team, or to grind for your gears to get high damage and melt these bosses. The Vether Descendants right now might change during launch date, but I really can't wait to see the full picture of how the first Descendant for me. Right now, it's really a fun game. I'm looking forward to spending thousands of hours, and I can't wait for the new challenges the developers will come up with the game. Now, I would love to know your favorite Descendant during this crossplay beta. Let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to help support our channel. Thank you so much for watching. Squad Leader signing off.